Hi, this is Tony Sanders, and we're going to now look at the A+ system. If we're going to put A+ on our computer, then the first thing to do is go to a specific website related to AFC scholarship. It's listed there on the screen. And then you're going to click on the lower button, which is the Webstart button. This will help download a specific file, a Java file, that you'll also then choose to run. Now, some of the screens I'm showing you take at least a minute to download and run, but this is the chain of events when we're going to go ahead and install an A+ icon on your desktop. Up comes a Java report, then the verification, and finally, what we'll get is the login screen. Okay, once we have the logon screen here, what we can do is we can enter a student client's name and password. When a student logs in, they'll get a screen that looks somewhat like this. Here we have lessons, and here's an example of progress. All lessons are created in the same format, which means there is a study guide, a practice test, and a mastery test. And if we're talking about something like English, then there's also an essay component. Here we can see that the title of these assignments are from the Learning Link prescriptions. These are the lessons that were prescribed after this student took TestWise Learning Link pre-assessment. This was done back in the 12-13 school year. Now we have something from much more recently, meaning January 29th. Here are the lessons for English. The name has also been shortened to make it a lot more logical and to have a time and date stamp. Now we have different lessons that can be done. Students will pick this, and then the activities that are involved are, as I said before, a study guide, a practice test, a mastery test, and then finally an essay. Now this is for English language. We'll go back. Now we'll look at the math lessons. Here we have a set of lessons for a 9th grader, some involving algebra, some involving other stuff. Lessons are done in order, meaning students will start with the first lesson and then proceed forward. Here we have a study guide, a practice test, and a mastery test, and no essay component. Study guides look like this. They can be considered PowerPoints with a certain number of pages. This one has 25 pages involved. Depending on the layout of the study guide, there can be an advancing arrow down here, a next arrow, but in this case we have it up here. Students need to focus on going through the study guide for more than 5 minutes. There's a restriction which prevents students from then turning around and just clicking through a study guide in hopes of going to the practice test. We are just going to advance through for a little bit and take a look. Here's an example. But we can stop and see what happens with the practice test. In this case, we're allowed to go ahead and do some work. Oops, we got a mistake. We're told that it's incorrect. Go back. Now we can see that what we needed was the $sign. So precision is very important. Here's the next question. There's 10 questions in this test. I've hit the enter button rather than hitting the arrow advance. Both will work.